Success Mantra is a program which features people, successful individuals from various walks of life. They are less known heroes who believe in their dreams and have conviction to live their full potential. Idols, icons, innovators who care to live every moment on their own terms.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Success Mantra. I have today's guest who has been with the forces for 38 years. And of course, he comes with a lot of value, suggestions that we can use, especially during the COVID times. I'm really looking forward to this discussion with General Anil Mallik, who has been 2 times TED Talk participant and of course been in the corporate with a very rich background in various leadership roles. I welcome him along with the audience to today's session.
Thank you, Sonali. It's a great privilege to be here.
Before we go ahead with our agenda today, if you could give us certain parallels that you have seen both in the corporate world and in the defense.
If you start with that initial feeling was always there that, look, I'm coming from an organization which is well bound. You know, there are links which are established from day one. Well, it's very simple that each one of us comes from the same background. I went to the same school or I went to the same college where each one who's in the corporate world went to. But then you also felt that there was something quite different. While in the corporates, the focus may be on delivering good results. Maybe to use a cliche, the bottom line becomes important.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Okay, but in the armed forces, the difference lies in the fact that here human lives are what dictate what you do.
True.
Because for us, everything revolves on that one entity, the soldier. It is my duty as a leader to make sure that that one entity is satisfied, he's happy, he's inspired and motivated to the extent that he's willing to lay down his life for the country. Mm-hmm. If I run a happy team, you find that things move automatically.
Right.
So the inspiration and motivation that that man requires, whether we talk it, whether it's in financial terms, he needs financial satisfaction. But each one of us, whether it's the army, we have a family to look after. I have responsibilities. So if my organization, the corporate, also provides me that confidence that my responsibilities as an individual will be met, you find that the performance levels are very high in such organization. And I don't have to take example. We all aware of where good companies and good corporates imbibe that feeling in them. So really speaking, as far as working environment is concerned, we found it is absolutely the same.
Excellent. Of course, you have been a leader all your life, and typical corporate requirement is to have a very strong leader. So, which definitely helped you in terms of going through this professional change, I would say, right? So, General Mallik, today we are in midst of a pandemic, and there is a huge hue and cry in terms of it's literally like being in some kind of a war across nations, against a virus. So what is your thought? Because you have dealt with wars all your life, right? 38 years is no matter of joke. So what is your suggestion and what is your perspective about this situation today?
We went through one phase of this pandemic last year, exactly a year back. Somehow the dates just happened to fall into place, right?
Right.
While initially there was a lot of fear and panic in I will call it phase one. There was a lot
Right.
of fear and panic.
Mhm.
And then people realized that it gave you a lot of values which we picked up.
Right.
One of them was the most important. All my life I was scripting, I don't get time to spend with my family. Now
Mhm.
here I was locked in with my family. Everything went on smoothly and soon things stabilized.
Mhm.
Now suddenly this new thing came in again.
Right.
Why? It came in again because we let down our guard.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's in any war-like situation or any real life situation, you find that the moment you let down your guard, that was when things were improving. It was an opportunity for us to sort of strengthen ourselves. It was an opportunity for us to have learned the lessons. I think we as a nation, or I would say we as an international community, forgot that the focus now must be on healthcare.
Right.
It's high time we as a nation took in healthcare as a fundamental right.
True.
And people, of course, forgot. They forgot the mask. The mask became a joke.
Learn from
And
our lessons and take this learning ahead. It's always we are going to fall in the trap again. You have been in the defense, you've been in the corporate, you have had these beautiful relationships. So, what in your mind is success all about? Is it, certain possessions? Is it your relationship with people? Is it something which, like we can create on our own? What exactly does it mean to you?
in my understanding, success is not something you find a genie appearing, you rub a lamp, and tomorrow morning I'm successful. Okay.
True.
Success is about small steps, small incidents,
Mm,
small initiatives, and small actions.
true.
It looks very attractive as a package when you call it success.
Mm,
Success comes in small little bits. Today, I want to achieve X factor in life.
mm,
I may say, all right, I want to be the CEO of a company.
mm,
It's not going to happen overnight.
mm,
Tomorrow I may become a manager. Day after tomorrow I may be becoming the CTO, or I may be becoming a CFO or such. But so it is going to be small little episodes, small little action. And therefore your plans and your goals have to be commensurate with what is achievable.
mm,
It is achievable for me to become chairman of Tata Sons, right?
mm.
But there will be small little movements, small little gestures, small little actions, which will come about, one, because of your commitment,
Sure.
your commitment to what you want to achieve, your focus on what are the right essentials that you want to do. And again, at the cost of repetition, it's going to be good values, good relationships. Every organization has very strong legacies that you can fall back. Like today, we are all, when we talk about COVID, it is health is one issue. There are economic issues.
True.
There are the contributions which each one is making. So that is because it's the requirement of today. So also it works in reality that there will be different opportunities, there will be different challenges. It's your focus on what you want to do at that time, which is going to make the ultimate difference.
Sure. So very interestingly, you said that success is small milestones at different phases, like of your journey. Now, how do you sustain this journey of small milestones? Because
I think one of the most essential things, uh, again, oft repeated, is the focus and the goal. Have you set yourself a goal?
right,
Am I doing a competitive examination because everybody else in my class is doing it?
true.
Am I really committed to, say, let's say, becoming an IAS officer. Okay. Am I really committed to that cause? Or is it that I am trying for 5 different things? I want to be in the hotel. Then what is the purpose? Why am I wanting to do that? Now, once you have that clear understanding of what you're doing and why you want to do it, you know, we know of enough stories in life where people have gone about this examination 4 times, 5 times, but they haven't given up because the focus and clear objective was clear. So while challenges will be there, there'll be setbacks. I don't like to use the term failures. They're setbacks, right? So there will be setbacks. But then if you are clear on what you want and why you want, you know, we all to use the term, we set goals, but why that goal? When the why and the purpose is clear, you find that success ultimately falls into place.
Wow, beautifully said. True. Clarity is the most important aspect in terms of determining the purpose as well as accomplishing the goal. Wonderful. So what are the traits or behaviors that has really supported you in achieving success or achieving these goals that you set for yourself? Because each one of them, each of the milestones has been so big. So what are those elements which has really supported you in your journey?
One very important thing which I've always think is what has helped me in life maximum is being decisive. Very few times there were occasions when I was younger in surveys where I kept wavering between ये भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसा भी होना चाहिए. But gradually you realize that until you were decisive in what you want to do. So decisiveness is the most important element that is required as to take you up that rank.
Sure.
When you talk of decisiveness, it is also one important factor is what you do should not be based on reactions to situations. I would use the word act and don't react.
Okay.
When you take actions based on your conviction, based on your essential understanding, you're opening the gates to success. But if you are only reacting to situations, right? If I'm able to think ahead, if I'm able to plan ahead, foresight, very important characteristic with the army, emphasizes on people. You should be able to visualize what's going to happen and be prepared for it. It doesn't matter if tomorrow morning the boss calls me, gives me a kick and says, yeah, you haven't done this correctly, and I go back and to my table, amend the thing and come back and say, here, so well done, good show. That's what I was looking for. But then you haven't really contributed. You haven't really achieved anything. Your achievements have to come from the ability to be able to act on your own.
Sure.
And that, again, going back to the previous thing, it's your understanding of the purpose. What am I here in this company for? What am I here in this organization for? Building strong teams. It's whether you're a leader, and today I wouldn't say, we have this debate about managers versus leaders. I think even managers have changed their mindset. They've understood the importance of strong teams. They've understood that only strong teams will be able to achieve the purpose of it. So this is one thing with the army. When I emphasize this, I felt that delegating, giving the person the ability to think, not only made sure that the objective was achieved, but then that is what helped me achieve success.
Sure.
Right. If I'm not able to achieve the ultimate aim, then what success am I talking about? I may become a colonel or a general, right? But if my organization, my system, my team has not been able to perform, and they should be able to perform in my absence. I think good teams perform when the leader is not there.
Beautiful, beautiful. So interesting that, like you pointed out that, act and don't react. So most often people are triggered by what others do, or there's sometimes a herd mentality and everyone starts following that line, right? So General Malik, varied different milestones, amazing journey. What has been the most important achievement in your life?
Sonali, I would sum it up in one word. I have left a lot of happiness in whatever organization I'm in. My focus was on spreading happiness. I found that tasks will happen, everything will happen. But if I have spread happiness, I have left behind uh, maybe 10, 12 years back. I had just come on a transfer to Delhi, and if you know that road between Taj and Moria hotels, there is some. If you're familiar with Delhi,
Yes.
right? We have some army accommodation there, so that's where we were residing. Around 6:30 in the evening, getting dark, me and my wife were taking a walk, and there was somebody running, going for a run on the other side of the road. Okay. Suddenly, that person crossed the road and came up to us, and he said, "Sir, I am so and so. I was in one of the units when you were commanding the division. Well, personally, I did not identify with it. He said, I just wanted to come and shake your hand and say that you left us a very happy environment, happy team. We all still remember you. I think my day was made, right? This is a small example, but it remains so fresh in life that did I give them that environment? I feel that if I have given them a happy environment, then I have contributed towards their success. They will achieve great heights if they remember that. Also, to give a small little example, if it's in my last farewell address to various to an audience of nearly 300 people at a particular military station, I emphasized the points that I had been stressing upon during my command of that place. One person got up and said, "Sir, we've all enjoyed this, what you've told us. Tomorrow you're leaving. The next person who comes is going to change all that, right? And we may be working in a different environment. We feel very proud and confident of the values and that you have given us. But tomorrow this is all going to change. So then what do I do?" Tricky question, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but my answer to him was, look, son, if you have imbibed those values, and tomorrow when you grow up in life, when you ascend up the ladder and you get to more responsible positions or in positions of responsibility, if you remember these things and follow them, then I think what I have done in 1 year has been achieved. Absolutely. So these are the small lessons I wanted to bring out and put them across with little examples.
Beautiful. Excellent. So, like from where did you get the motivation to follow this, beautiful expression saying that, what is the happiness quotient that I'm creating in an environment? Because leaders typically, get torn apart between, achieving their goals and managing transactions, and then they have their people. So, who has been this role model who has inspired you to prioritize happiness in any environment that you kind of conduct or command or lead?
I want to, before I especially talk about this, I just want to emphasize on one particular point regarding role models.
Mhm.
In my understanding, um, this is not the classical example of what a role model is. I do not say that Montgomery was my role model, okay, or Sam Monakshaw was my role model.
Right.
At the end of the day, I perhaps there's no single individual I could pinpoint as my role model.
True.
But I feel in everybody's life, when you're a young child,
Mhm.
your role model may be your dad
True.
or your mom. As you grow up, maybe an elder brother, sister, uncle would become your role model. You went to school, you're a teacher who was very friendly.
Okay.
That teacher became my role model. When I got into the army, uh, as a cadet in the academy, a particular officer who was my trainer became my role model. I said, if I get there, I must go into the unit that this officer comes from,
Right.
because he has so many qualities. And as I kept going up in service, I found that at every stage there was a different person whose qualities you wanted to emulate, right? So
Absolutely.
that is point number one about the role model.
So,
At the end, just if I forget, I'll come back to this role model business. But this happiness business,
hmm.
I realized also that sometimes we make this mistake. We feel that being a leader means creating fear in someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and it applies across the board. If I walk into my office, or if I walk into the building where my office is, if I don't smile, maybe I'm creating an impression.
Mhm.
I'm creating an impact. Yeah, now the boss has come. So everything's grim. The world is going to fall about. 5 people are going to be shouted at. And maybe, yes, this is the way to achieve good results, right? And I went through the same normal pace with everybody. I saw my superiors, and I wished the guy good morning, and he looked at me like this as if I didn't matter in life, right? And he would walk into, and probably I found that sometimes maybe it took 2 hours before he could thaw, and when you went to him after 2 hours, he would give you a smile, right?
True. Very true.
I realized that this one thing, what I realized as I went up, and now I took stock of this. I analyzed this as why is this happening. The one reason what I found common why this was happening was because he was not confident himself.
Hmm.
Okay, he's come for work.
Hmm.
He's not sure of what challenge is going to be thrown at him this morning, right? And will he be have the so firstly, as I grew up, I said the first thing I have to emphasize is on building up my own confidence. And as I built up my own confidence, I realized that life became so simple. It gives me a lot of, I would walk in, I would be smiling. I remember in South Block coming up the stairs, I would greet even if a person I didn't know, hi, good morning, oh, kaise hain aap, whether it was the person who was cleaning the place, or a staff officer who met me, how are you, son? How things been for you? Now, this thing started coming naturally because I built up that confidence in myself. I knew that what is going to happen? What is that thing in the world which I can't tackle?
Right.
And there are people with 101 billions of problems which I can't even visualize. Here I have a secure environment, right? I have a team to back me up.
Sure.
I have an environment which is going to take care of me. So it built up my confidence. When it built up my confidence, I started getting happier, and that happiness I was able to share. So that is that. Now coming back to that point of role model.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like I told you that I had no specific role model. But as I transcended this 38 years and even thereafter, um, it's been what now, 8 years plus since I got out the army. Two entities which I hold now as role models. Right? I didn't say individuals. I said two
Right.
entities. One is the Indian soldier. When I talk of soldier, it means whether he's a Jawan or he's an officer, right? And two is what in our language we call as the Fauji wife. There are two people who have put aside everything. Like I mentioned to you, they come from the same stock, they have the same problem, everything's there, but they are there for the team, they're there for the organization. He's forgotten his worries. He's forgotten everything else for the cause that he's created. And I think their commitment, their determination, their involvement with everything, I can tell you with confidence, when today Corona is there, or there were floods in Uttarakhand, or there was an earthquake in Assam, they were there. They were there even knowing that in his own house is also getting washed away. There are floods in that area also, right? So he is my role model. And the fact that he is able to spend time, commit himself, devote time to his responsibilities, it's because his wife is there to take charge of all the responsibilities that would have fallen on him. As also, not only that, not only of his own family, but that of everyone in the military station. You'll see army wives so involved with the care of all the soldiers, families. So I think these are the two people who I feel contribute so much to our society, and they are my role models.
Beautiful. I think there couldn't have been a better role model than what you just mentioned. It's like really, as you spoke about them and their commitment, it kind of, we are all indebted to this team who come and stand by us in any chaotic situation in the country. So it's really applaudable. Uh, General Malik, like you have spoken about all these successes, the teams, managing these teams, creating happiness in your environment. And you also mentioned setbacks at times, right? So, what are the ways that you were able to manage these setbacks and prioritize the happiness in the environment? How were you doing that?
Like I said, firstly, the term failures is out, right?
Yeah,
And setbacks is what is important. Every morning, there are challenges in life.
true.
I had to get to place A by 10 o'clock in the morning because there was an important meeting I had to attend. And I'm not talking about the army, I'm talking about anybody, right? I I woke up late because I was on Netflix till late at night. I rushed on the road, cursed a couple of people, road rage, right?
Yeah.
Reached the office late, got a bollocking from my immediate boss. Somebody frowned at me, right? Small little
Mm.
setback. But at the end of the day, these were all put aside. That is just, I'm giving you a small little example. But when it comes to setbacks on tasks, on missions, they will be there. There will be every time I start off. It's not that I'm doing things in the correct manner. I'm doing it the best of my understanding and ability. That may not result in, because The circumstances may change. The parameters which I am required to achieve may change. There will be situations where the expectations were, I'm falling short of those expectations. But to put it in a simple language, I need to analyze where I've gone wrong. I need to see where I can improve. And rather than sulk over what has happened.
Beautiful. So we need to take, like this as a on-the-job training. Life is literally like on-the-job training. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you correct them, and move on every time, like you face challenges. Fantastic. So, General Mallik, thank you so much for making time, sharing your thoughts with us, and of course, these wonderful nuggets which are going to help our audience. Before we, conclude today's session, if you could tell us that, like what are the three things that can make, or the success mantras which can make everyone's life blissful, whether it is new normal, or whether it is pandemic, or whether it is chaotic situations. What are these three things when we are going in the front every day that we need to keep in our minds?
So the first thing I would like to emphasize in each one of us must learn to understand our responsibilities. The North Block in Delhi, which houses the office of the Home Ministry and the Finance Ministry, there's an inscription in golden letters by Charles Colvin, who made this fantastic building. Now he says, liberty does not descend upon people. People must raise themselves to liberty.
True.
You must learn to understand your responsibilities, therefore you reap the fruits of. Number two is that your attitude. I name some of those attitudes. Yeah. Most important one, which I always want to emphasize, and maybe my next opportunity to give a TEDx talk, I like to talk about the attitude of gratitude. The attitude of gratitude towards it starts from the home, your gratitude to your parents, to your elders, your teachers, and to everybody in society. It's the second most important thing. And the last point that I want to emphasize is that life is cyclic. There'll be ups and downs. And it reminds me of my favorite song, which I picked up right in childhood. It's a song sung by Lynn Anderson on I Beg Your Pardon, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden.
Yeah.
Along with sunshine, there's got to be a little rain sometime. So life is going to be ups and downs. It's our capacity, your own confidence, which will give you that ability to transgress these and emerge successful. So these are 3 points that I wanted to make.
Fantastic. I think these points are definitely going to help people who are, in panic situations, people who are, dealing with crisis and other, various challenges, especially during the pandemic times. And of course, they are great learnings. Understand your responsibilities. I think very well said that we always have this expectation that what the country or the organization or others around would do for us, but we need to take the responsibility of doing things which we can do for the nation. And of course, attitude of gratitude, I think, is the biggest way towards abundance. Once you show the gratitude, then you attract all the abundance to yourself. And finally, life is, has its own ups and downs, because otherwise it wouldn't be life. It would just be a straight line, which represents, the final game is over, right? So thank you so much, General Mallik. And it was fantastic talking to you. And of course, understanding your journey and all the various things that you have done. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Great delight, and I must compliment you for the questions that you put across, because then that brings out the best in a person to be able to respond.
Great. Thank you.